my mic was properly connected, but let's continue. Um, the craziness of being confined with our entire family, and based on my experience and my conversation with a lot of people who are confined in sometimes spaces smaller than mine, because at least I have a backyard. And here in the US, we can go out, but I have clients and friends both in Israel and in France. And there, the confinement there is way stricter. Plus, they live in flats, which are much smaller than houses, and it can get crazy. So, what we're going to do today is tap on questions that I receive. It's not really questions, it's more like when I posted the event, I asked people who could not attend live. And so far, I have no one live here, but I have people who sent me some, those phrases that go into your head and come back on a loop, or things that you think on a regular basis. And if you've seen I don't think no, I didn't post it in English. I posted it in French and Hebrew, but not English. It will be my next podcast episode. I explained how to move, apart from doing tapping, which we're going to do today, move from irritation, frustration, whatever negative emotion you're feeling about the confinement, use that in order to shift it to something that will empower you. And if you know anything about the brain and energy, because I'm a lot about energy as well, repeating a sentence over and over is the same thing, even if it's in your head, is the same thing as an affirmation. And in that case, like, let me give you an example. And maybe you're going to stop this video. Since we don't have anybody live today, it's even better, because that way I'm going to work in a format where, based on what I'm going to give you here, you're going to customize this tapping session to your situation. So one of the sentences I received is, I can't stand all the noise 24/7. And the person who sent that, Mary, she mentioned after that it was maybe not 24/7, but she's in her house with someone who loves to have the TV on all the time, and it drives her nuts. So that's one aspect. Another one, and that's in my email. Wait. Another one is a mom, and she was saying that she is tired of hearing her kids saying that they're bored and seeing them, going crazy. It's someone who's bilingual, so she sent her question in French. Like playing in a very crazy and noisy way in the house, and it drives her nuts. Another one was saying that she is working from home and she has a hard time focusing on what she's doing because there is activity around her and her family members, and they're not even kids in that case. They don't respect her space, and they come ask her questions every so often. Let me mention that if that's the case for you, you may want to listen to the episode I just did when I interviewed Nancy Levin, who's a Hay House author, who wrote a book called Setting Boundaries Will Set You Free. I'll put the link to the episode in this description, because there is a need. She explained, when is there a need to set a boundary? That's one. So first, before even you tap on it, you tap to diffuse, deactivate the negative emotion. But it doesn't mean that in certain cases, certain action has to be taken, or certain, maybe if it's a question of your perception and the story you tell yourself on a regular basis, the action will be to start changing the story to one that serves you instead of one that brings you spiraling into frustration, irritation, anger, resentment, fear, whatever the emotion is. So before we start, the same way that some people sent their phrases, and I apologize, I may have received more right now, but I can't look at my Facebook right now, or actually I can. While I'm doing that, I won't make you take a piece of paper, but try to pinpoint the phrases or the stories that you constantly tell yourself about the situation and about the fact that it irritates you. Some expressions like, I can't stand it anymore. That's it. I'm going to go nuts. Why is it like that? What am I going to do? And by the way, I will be doing a session on acceptance too, because that's a main factors why people waste energy instead of feeling good. So let me look. Meanwhile, go and find your sentence. What are you telling yourself on a regular basis that brings you down spiraling into emotions you don't want to bathe in? No, there is no more. What I'm going to tell you about those phrases, I said it, it's at the brain level. You see, because of the reticular activating, you see what you think about, and on an energy level, you vibrate at that level. So that's not what you want to do. That's not ideal. Regarding tapping, there is an intro video link in the description. If you don't know about it, that's okay. You just follow what I do. And I'm going to take some of those phrases and some of the I can't stand it, why do I have to go through that, why don't they listen to me, whatever I read here and whatever will come to me, because I'm very connected to the field when I tap with my clients, or whenever I tap, even for myself, things come to me. If that doesn't apply to your situation, you are going to replace it with what you just thought, with what just came to you as far as your personal story, your personal go-tos that are negative, as far as sentences like, I can't stand it, I can't last, this is impossible, this is unbearable. What are you telling yourself? And if you don't know, pause this video and inquire about that, because the more precise you're going to be with tapping, the more effective it's going to be. What tapping does, it deactivates the stress response in your body. It interacts with the amygdala in the brain, which is the stress center. I won't go deeper on that now. Let's start. Let me take a sip so I can talk. Pose any questions or comments below this video. I'll come back and I'll answer you. Before we tap, you need to assess the intensity of your feelings so that you can judge the effectiveness of the session or not, and know if you have to continue tapping, what you have to do next. So when you think about your situation and the things that drive you nuts, bring them to mind. On a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being, I don't feel anything at all, I mean, nothing negative about that situation, and chances are it's not the case, otherwise you wouldn't be watching that video, and 10 being, I'm so irritated, annoyed, mad, whatever your feeling is, that it's almost unbearable, where do you fall? The ideal is to be at 5 or higher, because that's when you will really notice a change with what we're going to do today. So just write it down or keep note, and we'll revisit that after the session. So we're going to start with what we call the anchoring statement, which we're going to repeat 3 times, with the point that is called the karate chop. You can tap with 2 fingers, 3 fingers on any points. You can tap on both points on each side with both hands, or one hand, it does not matter. What matters, follow what I do and repeat what I say, customizing it to your, to your situation, and go with that. So let's start. Even though I am really, really irritated about the situation right now, and you can insert here your specific situation about the noise, about the what my kids are doing, about my husband watching TV all day long, about I don't know if you have other family members with you, whatever they're doing that drives you nuts, or a general situation about being at home with everybody all the time. So I'm going to be very general. Even though I am very, very annoyed right now about being at home with everybody and not having control, repeat. I completely accept myself and I accept what I feel. Even though I'm extremely annoyed and irritated about being at home with everyone and not having control, I completely accept myself and I accept how I feel. Even though I am annoyed and irritated about being at home with all my family and not having control about what happens, I accept myself and I accept how I feel. Now follow what I do. All this activity and noise in my house, all my family around me 24/7. It is so difficult. I have such a hard time. In fact, I'm so annoyed and irritated. And here below the collarbone on the soft spot, I am irritated and annoyed about what's going on. Here at the bra line, I am very annoyed and I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about the noise 24/7 almost. I can't do anything about my kids going crazy and playing rough. I am really mad about it, but I can't do anything. I can't do anything about people disturbing me during whatever I'm doing, whether you work at home or you're not. I can't stand it anymore. I don't know how I'm going to last. We don't even know how long it's going to last. This is the worst. I can't last long like that. It drives me nuts. I can't go outside and go see my friends. I'm constantly with my family 24/7. I love them, but they drive me nuts. I need time for myself, and I can't even get that. Because when I try to isolate myself, somebody comes. And even when I take time by myself, it's not enough. I am really annoyed and irritated. I don't know what to do anymore. All these crazy sentences that go through my head. I can't stand being closed in a house with my family 24/7. I don't like that we're not supposed to go work. I know it's dangerous, but I still don't like that we have to stay home. I'm so tired of it. If only I could take the car and go somewhere else. All that annoyance in my body. All that irritation because I can't change it. I know that my kids have to play, and I love them dearly, but they keep on disturbing me in my work. And I'm running out of ideas to keep ourselves busy. How much can you clean? How many movie can you watch? It's getting boring over time. All that irritation in my body. Where do you feel the irritation? Try to spot it. I'm just going to pick a spot and you say yours. All that irritation in my stomach. I can feel it now. I can feel it and I don't like this feeling. I don't like how I feel. I can't even get to peace. This is so annoying and I don't see an exit door. All that feeling in my body. All that irritation and frustration in my body. It is like a ball of entangled wires or wool. Go with an image that comes to you. All this ball of irritation in my stomach. And go with the image. What does your emotion look like? And where is it? This ball of entangled material in my stomach. This ball in my stomach. It is there so often with me lately. And I can't do anything different. We are not allowed to go everywhere. So, how can I get rid of that ball in my stomach? I don't see a solution. That ball of irritation in my stomach. It's not helping, frankly. Because the more it goes and the more it grows, that growing ball of irritation in my stomach. I wonder if I could do anything about it. How could I let it go? Is there a way to let it go? I would love to let it go. It doesn't help anyway. I know it's a normal reaction of my body, but it doesn't help. So now I decide to let it go. Maybe I can replace it with something else. Maybe I can let it go. It is safe to let it go. It doesn't mean I'm going to become okay with that situation to last forever. I can let it go, but still want things to go back to normal. So I now decide to let go of that ball that doesn't serve me in my stomach. I decide to be more at peace when they do whatever they do. And I see that ball leaving my body. How do you see the emotion leaving your body? Is it evaporating? Is it dissolving? For me, that ball is untangling. It's undoing itself. What is your image? I am now let it go. I am now letting go of that emotion in my body. Because I have control, it's my body. So I now decide to let it go. And maybe I let go of only a portion of it. And maybe you hear my teenagers, my kids making noise on the other side. So it is so apropos. I see that emotion leaving my body. And even if it's only a little bit, it's already a relief. I see the emotion leaving and I feel more relieved. I let go of that emotion, at least for now. And I will let it go as often as I need. Nothing means I need to have a ball in my stomach. Nothing that happens. I can be more at peace no matter what's going on around me. In fact, it is a very important key to be at peace like that. This is one of the keys to happiness. And on that, I have control because it's my mind. So I decide to be happy no matter what's going on. It doesn't mean I'm okay with things staying like that forever, but it means I choose me. Things will happen and we'll see. But I choose me. I now choose to free myself and I feel leaving it. I feel it leaving my body. I get freer and freer. I'm letting go of that ball in my body. I free my body and my mind now. I have what it takes. I can control what I feel with my mind. And I choose to do that right now. I am now letting go. And I feel better. I feel so much better and I want it to stay that way. I'll go back to it. I am now feeling better about my situation, and I love that. So now, on a scale of 0 to 10, where is your irritation or your negative emotion regarding your situation? Think about it. Did it go down before compared to before? If not, stop the video now, go back to the beginning and do another tapping on the negative. If you feel better and you see that it went down, that's great. That's usually the case. And we're now going to tap a little bit on reinforcing that positive feeling. Now I know I have control over what I feel with my mind. Now I know I have control. I can choose how I feel by choosing how I think. I love that. I am so happy to see that I still have control. No matter who's around me and what happens, I have control. And maybe I lose the control from time to time, but I can go back to it. I can master my thoughts more and more. I can choose to go back. I can choose to go back to a positive emotion just by telling myself another story. And now I choose to tell myself a story that empowers me. See if a story is coming to you. My story is that in moments like this, it's an opportunity for growth. In moments like this, when they do stuff I don't like, I can choose to tell myself that I don't have to engage. In fact, I see myself in a bubble of energy. I choose to become aware of my energy field, my biofield, my energy field all around me. And I choose to use it to protect myself. I choose to protect myself from engaging. I choose to protect myself by choosing a different story. This is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for thought mastery. And oh my God, I'm going to come out of confinement as a master of my thoughts. At least way more than I was before. So that's one of the gifts of confinement. And I am grateful for it. I am grateful to myself for watching this video and doing the tapping. I am grateful to myself for intervening. I'm not sure it's English, I'm grateful to myself for my intervention on my negative emotions. And I am grateful and happy to see that it works. It's working. Thank you to myself. And thank you to the universe that matched me with this video as a solution. There are always solutions. I'm always guided, assisted by a divine, infinite intelligence. And I am so grateful. Now take a deep breath. And you can do that as many times as you need. You can do a shorter version. Let's say you're in the moment and somebody's annoying you. You can just say, okay, I choose to just um, remove myself and go in my bedroom. I'll be back later. And you start tapping just that point. Now, if you liked what we did today, I have a full workshop coming up where we're going to go in depth to identify and shift some of your coping weaknesses into more power with that COVID-19, because the way we're coping, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. That's a known fact. I don't know who said it, but that's a known fact. So the way, and it's even more extreme in situations that are very stressful, like today. You're going to be able to discover yourself in a way that you maybe didn't know about yourself before, and to spot some patterns that don't serve you and that can even maybe dangerous, literally or metaphorically, and you'll be able to shift them. I'll give you a way to a process to shift them, and we'll be doing tapping as well. You'll have the opportunity to be a volunteer if you want, because it's a group coaching, and you'll have the opportunity to work with me one-on-one in that group setting if you desire. So all you have to do is to go to singleanddoingitall.com/workshop. Yes. I'm putting the link in that video too. And in case you're coming after the date, because it's going to be on April 28th, 2020, I'll have other opportunities. I'll have monthly workshops on various topics where you'll be able to come and join the members of my memberships who attend live to go through a coaching session in a group setting for a very affordable price, and work on what's in your way of going to the next level. So I hope it helps. Please don't hesitate to put comments and questions, anything you want below that video. If you have questions or comments that you want to send me in a more private way, you can find me on Facebook at Your French Life Coach, or on my website at singleanddoingitall.com. I wish you much peace and happiness with a growing thought mastery. Bye.